walking into a dealership, where you must go. You walk in and you're like, okay, where do I start? Who do I speak to? Who's the right person? Sometimes, our sales execs are very busy. Our service consultants are very busy. You don't actually know where to go to. So today we want to create that journey. As you walk into the dealership, what is it going to look like? What can you actually expect? And what type of attitude should you be getting from the sales exec? Of course, we know that at the end of the day, when you walk into a dealership, let's not lie to ourselves. When you walk into a dealership, they're selling cars, right? But you also want to make sure that the person who is selling the car to you really takes in consideration all of the things that you need. So when you walk out of that dealership, you don't feel like, I feel like something is off. Wishy-washy. Sometimes you feel like that when you walk out of certain shops or certain things, right? So we want to make sure that when you walk out of that dealership, you feel like you have been serviced, you've been given the right information, and to be able to give us that information in terms of the journey within the dealership. Please put your hands together for Masesi Kutumela. She is the sales manager at Renault, South Africa. Now, she's fueled by her love for sales. She's a people-centered manager with a passion for winning and breaking records. Very well versed in the motor industry with over 10 years experience. She has a reputation of leading and molding teams that she leads. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the femininely fierce sales manager, Masesi Kutumela.
Good morning, everybody. Wow, okay. I'm going to be talking you through what to expect when you walk into a dealership. Now, most of you will be like, oh my gosh, they just want to take my money and run. But that's not the case. When you walk in, you will be met by a friendly salesperson who's trying to make sure that at the end of the day, once you've made your purchase, you've made the correct one. We will talk you through what we call a needs analysis. A needs analysis is when we try to find out what are you going to be using the vehicle for. So before you come, ask yourself that question. What do I need this vehicle for? In terms of how many passengers am I going to carry? Will my parents require me to pick up my little brother that plays hockey, soccer, and basketball? Is the boot space going to be enough for all those things? You also need to ask yourself what kind of mileage you're going to be doing. From school or from work to home, or 1 or 2 holidays with the girls. So those are important factors in terms of unpacking the needs of this vehicle that you're going to be buying. Once you've done that, you and your sales consultant then will narrow this product that you're trying to buy to probably 2 vehicles. We will then walk you through the vehicle that you've chosen. Possibly in this instance, it will be the Renault Kwid. We will take you through the vehicle, analyzing and unpacking the needs. So if you have said that safety is important to you, then we will show you all the safety features. We will also show you, because most of you obviously want to make sure that your Android or your Apple CarPlay is connected and that you're able to navigate around and play the latest music while you're driving your new vehicle. So we'll show you those elements. Once we have done that and you've decided which vehicle you'd like to test drive, possibly both of the vehicles you'll want to test drive, we go on a drive. On this drive, please make sure that you ask the relevant questions. Touch the buttons, open the aircon. Most people, especially the young gentlemen, will pump up the music just to make sure that the sound is great when they're pumping their latest or favorite song in this instance. When the drive is done, you come back to the dealership. The salesperson then will tailor-make a deal for you. Now, this deal being tailor-made will still be based on the facts that you put together in your needs analysis. So you've probably said you like black, so maybe they'll put you in a black vehicle. You'll tick. Sometimes they'll say, give me 2 or 3 color options because black might not be available. And if you're traveling a lot, they might offer you something like a maintenance plan. They might offer you smash and grab. Once you've put together the deal that you like, they will introduce you to what we call the finance house. the finance and insurance. In that finance and insurance office, you'll once again do something called needs analysis. They will ask you various questions on the needs and what installment you're trying to get to. There's also documentation that's required. Obviously, whatever you purchase, your ID is needed in this country, right? Driver's license, because you'll be driving a vehicle. Your pay slips and your bank statements. This is to ascertain, your affordability. Once that's done, the finance house will then give you feedback. This normally takes about 2 to 3 hours if you've got all the correct information. Once feedback is done, the finance and insurance will then unpack to you the various institutions that have approved your deal. Then you will decide which one is best for you based on the needs and based on the facts that you've given the finance house. Once that's done, you'll be invited to sign your contract. Now, most of the time, people don't want to sign on the spot. You know why? They're not dressed for their Instagram photos for them to take delivery of their vehicle. So normally it's like, no, thank you, I will come tomorrow so that I'm Insta-ready, which is perfectly fine because we want you to look good on the gram, right? When you get there, we will then do a final vehicle presentation. This is to show you all the things that you probably missed during the test drive because you were nervous driving this vehicle that's not yours, but now your vehicle is now in front of you and you're excited. So you'll ask all the relevant questions, connect your phone to the Bluetooth so that when you drive out, you can blast your music, connect to the various navigation system that we have in there. Before you go, we will introduce you to the workshop. Why? Because you're going to have to come back and service your vehicle, right? So you need to know the process on what to do, how to book your car in, who to talk to, and what to expect. Once that's done, all the pictures for the gram get taken and posted. And obviously you will hashtag yourself, hashtag the dealer, hashtag the salesperson. Please don't forget that. And then you be on your merry way and you join the brand that matters. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Masesi. Please do join me in the hot seat. Okay, so here I am. I am booking my flights and I call the airlines and they say to me, no, you can book on a Wednesday. That's when the prices are low. Is there something like that in the dealership? Is there a time? Can I time the dealership market? I'm calling it a market.
For me, I would always say, come to the dealership when you're calm, relaxed, and you've got enough time to ask the relevant questions to see all the products. So you're not in a rush, the salesperson is not rushing you, and you're both calm to do the sale and to get what you're looking for.
So what you're essentially saying, Masesi, is should one even be considering maybe visiting the dealership twice? So the first time you're just going to do like a scope, what you want to see what's available, what can I actually afford, what do I want? Does the dealership even have the product that I'm looking for?
Well, actually, they do say that an average buyer visits the dealership twice.
Oh, okay.
You should actually visit more than once. The first time is to see the products and say, or go for a test drive. You might not do this whole procedure that I've just spoken about. Maybe you'll do that on your second visit. It's like when you're buying a pair of shoes. You might like, do I really need it? Do I really want it? And then the second visit, like, yeah, I need it, I want it, because you've thought about it. Yes. You've had that conversation with yourself, and you have done your own needs analysis on what you're looking to purchase.
What is the one feeling that you want to make sure that every single potential Renault consumer, when they walk out of your doors, what is that feeling you would like to give them? And why is that important as part of the purchasing process?
Well, I always tell my team that whoever's coming through the doors, it's a daunting thing purchasing your vehicle. It's the second most expensive purchase that you'll make besides a property. So when whoever walks in through the door, they're nervous. So please make sure that when they leave feeling comfortable in knowing that this purchase that they're making is the correct purchase.
Yeah.
And most people in our brand are buying their vehicle for the first time. Nobody at home possibly has ever bought a vehicle. So they don't have a point of reference. So you as a sales consultant are the one who's going to be able to make them feel at ease, make them feel comfortable. So always make the person leave happy.
What is the one question that you feel that young people, especially because I think we've got a room of young people,
Yes.
car hopeful buyers, people that have maybe bought their car already and they want to trade it in for something. What do you feel is the one question you don't hear enough, but you would love to hear, when they're visiting the dealership?
Am I making the right decision? Because far often, most people, we've spoken about this, it's talking about cost of ownership. We're like, yay, I want this vehicle, I can afford it. But there's so much to it. And just asking that question, because there's fuel, there's taking care of the vehicle, there's insurance. So it's not just the installment that's presented to you, it's a holistic purchase.
Yeah.
So do ask the questions, is this the correct decision?
Masesi, you've been absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. And I'm sure that every single person who walks into a Renault dealership, this is the blueprint. This is what you expect. And this is what you're going to get.
Thank
Another
you.
round of applause for Masesi.
I don't ever want this experience to be fearful for anybody. Can I ask for a raise of hands that when you walk into a dealership, I need to go and arrange my finance. I need to go and complete an application.